Alright, there we go. There we go. We're good now. Alright, how we all doing today? It is a pretty cool day, because in fact it's still summer, actually. Like, the clouds are in right now, so I don't think we're gonna get rain. I just know, like, it's very cool outside, like, nicely cool. Not like the heat wave we got last month. It still gets hot, but I don't mind it. I woke up today, I went on Discord and I saw it was August 1st, which to all of you may or may not be aware of, it is the day that the Digidestined go to the digital world in the context of the anime. So I think that's kind of special right there. And I figured I haven't talked about Digimon on my channel for over like I want to say like a decade now, almost a decade or two. Not two. Not I haven't been doing it for 20 years, but like about a decade because I used to do Digimon season reviews of the anime. I used to do that back on my channel, or on the channel early in my when I begun. However, I think I just lost the drive to talk about the Digimon anime because one, I didn't like the reboot, the 2020 reboot at all. I tried to do reviews on that thing, but I can only go so far. And realistically, aside from the movie, there hasn't been much Digimon content out there lately, to be honest. Like, not much to really, like, dive in about. Because, like, to me at least, now, Digimon has a special place in my heart. That was one of the animes I grew up watching, obviously enough. Which, let me get on to, here we go. And, shoot, like, I had something planned, but I low-key don't want to spoil it, but I realized just now, yeah, I didn't properly, alright, well, might as well show you guys what we're planning to do. So, in the meantime, while I wait for, while we get some traction, the goal for this stream is to basically just talk about Digimon. Hey, Koro, how you doing, Koro? Yeah, Koro, you can join in. You can join in. I was just talking to the viewers that we have a special. I have a special plan for Digimon today since it is the big. Oh no, wait, no. Oop. It's the big. Obviously, what's the word? It's August 1st, and as we all know, today marks a very important day in many Digimon fans. So I figured, what better way to celebrate August 1st than to talk about Digimon? You know, the series that rivaled Pokemon for one point. And I'm just setting this thing up real quick. Gotta save the best one. Hey, Kara, how you doing? I'm doing good. Let me make sure everything's set up well. There we go.
Nice, nice. Happy Ode Day.
Happy Digimon Day. Because, funny enough, Cole, you're the reason why I'm doing this, to be honest.
Really?
Yes, well, I saw on Discord that it was Happy Digimon Day. I'm like, I haven't talked about Digimon on my channel for so long. So I figured, what better way to, like, come back than, like, talk about the anime itself? Because that's what...
Especially because it's 35 years.
God,
It's the
25...
it's the silver anniversary.
God dang, 25 years of Digimon. Dude, oh my god, I'm 25, and that hits me right now.
Yeah.
I was born in the same year this show came out. Ironic.
Digimon is old, like, the manga is from 98, right? That's first manga that has Tai Chi,
I
but
think
not the
so.
others,
I think so.
right? Yeah. Have you ever read that one?
I didn't even know there was a manga, to be honest.
Yeah, there's like a manga where there's Tai Chi in the digital world, um, but the other ones are not present. It's just a Tai Chi story.
Here we go. There we go. That's what I needed. I
It's
just
called
needed.
Digimon Adventure V Tamer 01.
Is that the one? Okay. Is that one that was based on the OVA, the first OVA?
I believe so, yes. Because the OVA it's just Taichi and Hikari.
Yeah.
The others are around, but they are not really chosen. I
It's
mean, they are
just.
chosen, but the manga is different.
It's more or less. It's just the origin episode, like season zero, episode 0, basically.
Hmm.
Which that's actually a good question to like. Since Cole, since you're here, the plan for today is obviously we're gonna talk about Digimon, obviously enough to honor the 25-year anniversary.
Yes, sir.
And I think a good way for us to start this topic is this: how did you get into Digimon? Like, what? How did you first get exposed to the anime or to the franchise as a whole?
Oh boy. Well, if you count Tamagotchi, it's Tamagotchi. If you don't count Tamagotchi, it was that infamous VHS with three OVAs in one that we like to call the Digimon movie.
Oh my
Even
god!
though, yeah, so the one that has the Anaconda girl.
I remember freaking I think KG's the one who said it. There was like this like rumor that like a family got divorced because of that stuff.
No, because like it was so weird though because like the VHS was in my not really a kindergarten but like this little club. I mean, wait, it was kindergarten. Never mind. Sorry. There was like the VHS of the movie in my kindergarten, but it was really really weird because um the V I only saw one portion of the VHS, which was besides the Anaconda girl, it was really just Tai Chi and Hikari because every time that they played the VHS, my parents picked me up after the fact. So the other parents picked the kids later, so that's why they played the VHS until the kindergarten was to be closed. So
Oh,
I
okay.
was I was always watching 1/3 of the movie on all I always saw 1/3 of the movie. Sometimes finished, sometimes not. So and then Digimon really started, right? And I didn't even know that was a VHS when I was watching. I thought it was like something on TV on repeat as a promotion for the actual series to start in 2002 here in my country, and then '02 started in 2004 in the summer because in Europe things arrive later.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a blessing in disguise, like watching OVA Zero over and over and over again, because it would be weird watching that and then watching Tai Chi and Easy and then watching the O2 Squad with with the music that everyone thinks it's from Shrek, but it's not from Shrek. The hey, now you're an all star.
Oh my god, that's right. That shit that came out with the Digimon movie, didn't it?
Yeah, it's not. It came out with a Digimon movie in 2000, so it's not the Shrek movie. It's not the Shrek song, guys.
It's the Digimon song, which is ironic.
Exactly. But I do appreciate those little moments. And as you get older, I just think it's very interesting. The point of the matter that because the story of Digimon happens in August of 1999, correct?
Yeah.
Um, that second OVA where Taichi and Izzy are battling Diabromon, it happens in March of 2000 because TK and Matt are with their grandmother. So it's during springtime before school starts. And I think it's funny that they battled Diabromon in the year 2000. I think that's a Y2K reference.
Yeah, that is ironic right there. I always thought my mindset with that, real quick. I always thought my mindset was like that took place within the next summer. To be honest,
Hmm. It gives that idea. It does give that idea.
it gives the illusion like this just takes place the next summer because like my mindset is like the entire city got destroyed, and
Yeah.
usually if a something like that happens, it usually takes years to rebuild. Because the fight with Devamon as a whole practically
Mm.
destroyed half the city.
Yeah, like, cause he sent a nuke, and then a nuke got redirected to the river.
Which, real quick,
I
I'll talk real quick. But
thank goodness that like that OVA happening before like that tragedy in the U.S. Right?
oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, the year later, like thank goodness, not for the tragedy, but the fact that the OVA happened before the tragedy, otherwise the OVA would not happen.
The
Um,
OVA would have been heavily censored or not even come out. To be honest,
yeah,
they
it
would have
would
to
be like
wait.
it would be like the Lilo and Stitch movie because Lilo and Stitch was heavily edited
Oh yeah,
before
I
it was
remember
released.
there was like two scenes that got cut out, like, or in
Mm-hmm.
heavily edited. Like for example, the they were supposed to hijack a plane rather than like
Yeah.
just taking the like
Mm-hmm.
their own ship, and they were flying through the city instead of like the mountain area.
Yeah. I
I get why
it,
that
it,
is
it,
sense of that.
I do realize that at least in my country the movie was heavily abridged because like when the kids are asleep or when they are supposed to be asleep there's like some references to my country's culture about hey you need to go to sleep otherwise you're going to miss the next episode of whatever. There is no Dragon Ball reference. They really didn't like, for example, anime and early cartoon in my country. They sometimes do break the fourth wall and they are abridged because the flip flap. The Japanese they say more words than we do, so sometimes we had to make add-ons to the words and we just make some self-referential jokes. Dragon Ball does this a lot, and Digimon did a little of this as well.
There's a little side note real
To
quick. Side note real
Yeah.
quick. In Mexico, there's an episode of The Simpsons where they go to Tokyo, and when they
Mm.
lost the money, they have to like get jobs like gutting fish. Like, I don't know if you ever seen The Simpsons or seen that episode in
Yeah,
particular.
yeah,
In America, Homer just says boring. What else is on? And just gets like an electric eel, just whips the TV up on like the ceiling. In
mm-hmm.
Mexico, he states this: they sing terrible. Isn't there Dragon Ball Z on? Like he says it in Mexico. He's like, "Get feo canta, que no hay Dragon Ball Zeta," and I'm like, "That's the truth." You know,
That
Mexico loves Dragon
that's
Ball.
that's amazing. I do recall like, do you remember that scene in the Digimon movie where like um so Diabromon is affecting all everything digital to the point where it's affecting like vending machines and the supermarket zippers, like when they're trying to see the price tags of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this one scene when there's like this one clerk who zips a chocolate bar, and the chocolate bar's yen price goes exponentially high. I don't know what they say in Japanese or in English. All I know is that in Portuguese they say the most hilarious stuff. She zips the chocolate bar, and the chocolate bar goes to a price equivalent of 15 $15,000. So it's 1,500,000 yen. She's
Jesus.
yeah. She basically zips the chocolate bar. $15,000 chocolate, and then she says, this must be from Willy Wonka."
That's clever. The only what she says in America here is that when she does a scan and she says how much the price is, but because the Borma's messing with like the computers, it's expensive. So like she takes a double take. It's like, really? That must be really good chocolate. Would you be paying cash or card? And the guy just and just drops his change.
Yeah.
I wish they've done that. I wish they like did something like cheeky like callbacks like pop culture like that.
Yeah, I do recall this one time. It I think it I think if I have to, it was a redub. It was a redub of the Tai Chi and Ikari special, the OVA zero, right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
episode zero. It's the first OVA. The redub of that has the parents are not present in the OVA, but they they take that opportunity of not being visual to just give them words on the background. Like for example, when TK and Tai, no, TK and Matt, they are still together. Their parents are still living together. You see them on the balcony, and then in the redub, mm, their mother is basically saying, "Kids, go to sleep. Don't you want to watch Pokemon tomorrow?"
What the heck? What the
Yeah,
heck?
yeah. which is, which is weird because this happens in 1995, so Pokemon canonically wasn't a thing.
That's ironic right there, especially since you know the whole Digimon v Pokemon debacle
Yeah,
back then.
I would love to have a redub of a more accurate depiction of 1995 Japan. Like for example, imagine that scene, but instead of being their mother, is their father. Like, "Matt, go to sleep. Otherwise, I will not buy the VHS of Yu Yu Hakusho you wanted."
Oh my god, I actually did see like the Japanese version of the Adventure Zero. That's what most people just dub it.
Or better yet, like, "Matt, go to sleep. Otherwise, you won't watch Dragon Ball GT tomorrow."
I did see the a while back. I think during COVID, I was watching the OVA, like the original OVA in its original format, because obviously I didn't know back then it was like heavily edited.
Yeah,
Almost all the scenes are pretty silent. Like you remember,
yeah,
in
like for
America.
example, we don't even know, like, we didn't know what an OVA even was or what it was meant to be. Like, it was new. Like, we just saw episodes with what it were episodes.
Exactly, and I remember like there was a scene that like always like not weirded me out, but like made me question because like in the anime, when they get back to the human world after like when to go after Myotismon, they reminisce of like living in like a certain area, and Joe states that like he knows why Izzy's parents moved away, and they ask, wait, do you know him? He was like, no, I didn't know him back then, but in the OVA he's like on the phone with Izzy,
Yeah,
like this was supposed to take place before they met. In the original Japanese version, he's just calling 911. He's just calling the police.
yeah. Like, I do know that the 2020 anime, I don't want to talk about it. I I I refuse to acknowledge that because it felt promising at first, not gonna lie, but then I realized how weird it was, that everything was, they wanted to reach the end moments at the very beginning of the story, and you can see how much of a mess it is, to the point
Hell,
where
the
to the
first.
point where, like, they were always isolating Matt and Tai from everyone else,
And
and the moment the reboot is basically, this is the quote unquote same story, but it's happening, in recent time, and then um, Easy's tablet reconverts into a laptop, and I'm like, okay, this is weird.
I mean, that one I don't
I only
mind.
watched like 6 episodes of that version.
I I saw up until like after they defeated Millennium on, because at that point I was just done. I grew tired of the because the my issue
I
with
think I think
2020.
I think it's because the first 6 episodes they released, and then because of the pandemic, they went on a hiatus, and then I just forgot. It's not even the fact that the show was, It was just I just forgot.
Yeah, cause like I'll say this real quick, cause like I haven't told my story of how I got into Digimon real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The way I got into Digimon was kind of basic, to be honest. I think what happened was just like my brother ran out of VHS of like the first like a certain episodes of Digimon. I think I can't even remember how I got into Digimon. That's the sad part. I don't remember how. I know it had to do something with my brother because he's a Digimon fan too, and occasionally he will go to the video store and like rent out DVDs or like VHSs. And I think he may have mistakenly gotten a Digimon video instead of a Pokemon video. But I think
Mm.
obviously the premise was still fun. It was still like kids commanding monsters basically. Who kid doesn't
Yeah.
want to command a monster?
Yeah, like I feel like that's a shared story and sentiment from a lot of people in the world. Like, hey, you like Pokemon? I'm gonna rent a VHS so we can watch Pokemon tonight. And then your uncle, mother, grandfather, they accidentally, quote unquote, they rent Digimon in it, and then like for the first 30 minutes, the kids pull a tantrum. This is not what I asked for, and then you watch it like this is the best thing ever.
Not exactly. Though, like, I think my official interest towards Digimon would definitely came to like my like aunt and uncle, I guess, because like as of current, I'm not gonna get into like serious issues because that's just family matter. All I'm gonna say is like we're not in good connections anymore, to be honest. But back then, when I was a kid, when we went to the house, they always brought out like a VHS tape of the first three Digimon episodes, like when like they got to the digital world, Greymon and Garurumon.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what hooked me. And my school helped though too, because once a month, my school had like this like award ceremony for like kids who did pretty good in like those schools, like whichever, like good attendance, good grades, less no getting to fight stuff like that. And I usually did pretty good with attendance. And I remember I always grabbed a Greymon pencil sharpener, where it's like the top is just a Greymon figure, but he's standing on bottom of the sharpener itself. It's kind of like a think of amiibo, but the bottom of the amiibo is a
Mm.
sharpener.
Yeah, I do recall when the show was airing. So it was like in my first, because season one, it was broadcasting here in autumn of 2002. So it was the beginning of my first grade. And season two, it was on summer of '04, so it was after second grade. So for 2003, we didn't have anything Digimon related. Like there were the video games, but no one really knew that there were video games. Like in 2003, I think the hype stuff was about Monster Rancher and Beyblade.
Yeah, definitely.
So Digimon took a breather there, and then in fall of 2004, that's when we got Tamers, and then in the summer of '05 we got Frontiers, and then in the summer after, Japan got um, Data Squad. Yeah, Savers Data Squad. That's so weird because like imagine a 9 year old, right? It was the autumn of 2000 and yeah, the summer of 2006. Imagine a 9 year old watching Data Squad, Diamond and Pearl, and Death Note, all with those crappy subs on early YouTube, where episodes were divided in three parts and the resolution was at 360p. Those were the days, man.
I mean, how? That's how I was able to watch freaking most of the Tamers. I mean, not Tamers. O2, to be honest, because like I guess that could segue into like a next topic. I guess we could talk about real quick. Um,
Oh, O2?
no, not O2. More or less the series as a whole.
Hmm.
Which I have four series I have right now out here, but you can bring up the other ones because one I haven't
Hmm.
seen. The only other one I've seen was Fusions.
Hmm.
From these four series, which one would you say is your favorite in terms of like memories? Like which one is like sticks out to you like a sore thumb? Like in terms of like giving you like the best memories, like your
I
favorite.
as for as for personal memory, just me, I feel like O2 still hits some emotional strings because O2 has, well, fuck that ending. Like, fuck
I
that
hate that
ending.
ending.
Like, Like, as a kid, that had that as a kid, that ending happens, and we're like, okay, this happened, like, but we didn't process. Upon rewatch, the more you watch that ending, the more you realize how much fucked up it is. Like, Matt becomes an astronaut for some reason. Um, anyways, I like how to the idea of two groups of people coming together because of a common cause, right? And the the, the idea of continuing a story that was never done in any anime at the point. There was never an anime where, like, 'cause normally anime back then they always continue with the same protagonists for several years, but Digimon was only 1 year. It was only 54 episodes, and then it's immediately rebranded to O2, not only because it's the second season, because it happens in 2002, and we get new kids, new Digimon, and the old ones are not forgotten. They just boost the new kids, and then we got the Digimon Emperor's shtick, and that's because I resonated a lot with Joe and Ken as a kid, because of personal stuff. So I get it, I really really do. But this was just my personal experience with kids in the playground, etc., etc. In terms of just me, I feel like Tamers is the hidden gem of this franchise. Uh, Frontiers has the strong points, but I feel like Tamers has the audacity of being self-contained, and they they probably did a lot of hinting at the future of the franchise. Like, for example, the biomerge at the very end. That's basically the gimmick that they used in Frontiers, correct? Like, like
Yeah,
you
like
don't.
you could say that's like a you could
It's
argue
a
that's like
precursor.
that's
It's
kind
a
of like a
precursor.
precursor. It's kind of like a nice like I like when animes do that shit. Was like for example, Pokemon. We use Pokemon example. Whenever a new generation is about to happen, they always show off a new Pokemon from the new region, but we don't know what
Maybe
it is
but
yet.
for example, they kind of did it with X, Y, and Z, because when Ash Greninja was using that final Shuriken, that was not a Z move, but it looked like it.
It looked like one. It looked like one.
It looked like one, yeah. And like even before Galar, Ash battles, the Guardian of Alola of Tapu Koko, and that's a giant. It's not Dynamax, but it kind of looks
It
like
looks
it.
like it, but it really is just a Tapu Z move. That's usually how they are.
Yeah,
They become
it feels
titans.
like like when the Tapu uses a Zemu, it feels like they are Dynamaxing. So there is always something to
There
love.
was nice knots. There was always nice knots.
I feel like O2 and Tamers, they are tied for me, but it's for different reasons. I think it's because, like, I never really gelled with the Digimon protagonists, and it's not their fault. It's just they were never my type of character. My type of character was Joe, um, and Ken. My favorite, like I think it's because these two series in particular, my favorite characters are the female ones, which are Yoli and Rika. It's also because of their Digimon. Like, Hawkmon and Renamon are awesome.
All right.
Yeah, honestly, if anything, I feel like this is the first franchise where I resonated more with the female cast. So good job, Digimon.
All
You
right.
did what you did what they couldn't do with Misty, but they did it with May.
Misty walks so that way make a run, and to
Yeah,
accelerate Yoli and Rika.
yeah.
Even though I don't like
It,
Yoli.
that's fair. What's your favorite from O2? Like, from.
My favorite character from O2 is either gonna be it's probably gonna be Ken. I like Ken. I like his storyline with like it's like a trip. It was like a nice storyline. Was like he went from like being like one of the ruthless Digimon tamers out or like Digitans out there to now humbling himself. Where it's like
I
he has moments where like he
I
regrets his decisions.
I will say this. I remember this all too well because I never really watched anime unsupervised, right? My my parents were not really indulging with what I was watching. They were just watching me watching everything, just to see if it was appropriate. I do recall my parents loving the story of Ken, like because it felt real, but it wasn't really too harsh like how they did with what's the name of the girl from Tamers where she gets possessed and then she becomes like a
Jerry.
virus. Yeah, like that. I remember being turned off the TV because of that, and I do understand why. Um, and upon retrospective, holy shit, yeah, I now understand why. But as for Ken, I really liked the story because it felt real. It never felt like he was, being manipulated or anything else. And when the Seed of Darkness shows up, my father just went on a tantrum. Like, imagine, like, I I remember he was screaming at the TV like if his favorite soccer team lost, because it's like this loses all meaning.
Yeah, it does.
Like
It does, though. I get your what your father's going with.
yeah, like because like I was only 7. I didn't know. I knew the story. I didn't knew the plot. And when the Seed of Darkness shows up, it's like this loses all meaning, man. And upon rewatching, like, you know what? Maybe my father was right just that once.
Yeah,
It lost all
because
meaning.
like I like the idea that like Ken before the whole Sea of Darkness nonsense happened. It was just, the story was really like about a boy who felt like he was in his brother's shadow, and inadvertently wished that he could go away, which he does sadly, but in none of the ways he wanted. He even regrets saying that beforehand. So, because of due depression, he became the scholar that his brother was. But that didn't make him happy though. What made him happy though was being able to control the Digimon, not knowing that they're living creatures until Warmom dies in his hands. He
Yeah.
goes back home. And
And
then we get that one episode. That one
mm,
episode was like, it's just him. It's just his prologue episode. Which, by the way, real quick, I always like to theorize that when that stuff happens, that's when like the third act of the Digimon movie takes place. By the way, I always
yeah,
like to canonize that real quick. But going back, um,
yeah,
he has like this dream of like his brother Levon comes back and he's like open to like Digimon more. That's a good story. You don't need to bring up. Oh, by the way, he was possessed because of Arukani-mon or Mummy-mon. I'm like, no, that doesn't.
you know what I realize right now when it comes to Ken, it's the fact that not only does he well he ends up with Yoli, but only in the 2027 finale. So with recent media, we don't even know if they end up together. I don't even think they are dating in the recent movie. But but alas, that's 15 years before that
I
weird
haven't seen
ending.
that movie yet. Well, I'm still waiting to come in for
Um,
Blu-ray.
yeah, like I I do recall, because Ken's story, if you really think about it, it's really about the kids of our generation being they like technology more than they like people. It's not that Ken was socially inept. He wasn't inept. He simply chose not to talk with people. He didn't have a struggle of not knowing how to talk with people. He simply chose not to because he liked Digimon more than he liked people.
Yeah, because he
And
thought he could
and the
control
more
them.
I realize this, that I'm like, holy shit, this is what they should have done with Go.
Don't talk to me about Go.
I knew, this is how you trickle goggles, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't speak about that character ever again. Moving on. Um, Now in terms of my favorite the Digimon series, it's gonna go to Tamers. Like Tamers is without doubt my favorite Digimon series, the season as a whole. Like, and there's a lot of reasons why I love Tamers so much. One of the big aspects I love of Tamers is the fact that the Digidestins or the Tamers here have bigger roles than the prior seasons. Whereas now the Digidestins still help out in some ways, but when the Digimon to the bigger levels, most of the kids just hide or like stay behind because it's too dangerous for them. With the Tamers in Digimon Tamers, they can use the training cards to help boost their stats. And obviously later on they merge with their Digimon, so it becomes more like a united front with everybody together.
I think the cards, like, I never understood, why they were there, but I feel like the cards they because Tamers was made in 2001. I feel like the cards they were made to make the Yu-Gi-Oh fans go watch Digimon, because Yu-Gi-Oh is from 2000. It was the year before, right?
Yeah.
So there's a likelihood that when they were making Tamers, they probably used the Yu-Gi-Oh market appeal to try to reel in Yu-Gi-Oh fans into watching Digimon. I don't know if it worked or not, because Yu-Gi-Oh came after it. At least in my country, I don't know how it worked in other countries. If you guys had, the same broadcasting blocks on television.
So
Um,
I know we
but
all know
yeah,
already. Yu-Gi-Oh was dubbed by 4Kids, which was on
mm,
Kids WB.
yeah,
But with Digimon, prior to it going to Jetix on Disney or Toon Disney back then,
mm,
it was on Fox Kids, not on
mm,
not with 4Kids, because it was just
yeah.
different licensing. So like I feel like in Japan there might have been like a connection, but here in the West though they kind
Yeah,
of like
in the
separated it.
West, it's difficult to pinpoint. Maybe in Japan they were like one after the other, because it's something that we would have to see, like,
I
if
mean,
it's on the same.
in theory, Yu-Gi-Oh was the first one from these like
Yeah,
juggernauts
yeah.
because of season
I
zero.
especially, yeah, because especially when it comes to Tamers was very interesting. I know. Before you continue, I just want to say, a lot of Tamers happening in the real world. It makes things more crucial and drastic, because there's more dire consequences to the fact that it's happening in the real world. Um, because when they go to the digital world, like, because Digimon is an isekai. Like, let's not kid ourselves. Like, Digimon is not the first isekai, but it's an isekai. Tamers, it feels like they had an isekai arc in a non-isekai series, with that middle portion of the series, right? Because they voluntarily choose to go there, because of Kalumon. And then we fight, the 12 Zodiac Digimon, and then we meet, the 4 Cardinal Point Digimon. That was awesome. When it comes to Tamers, um, I I feel like that realism is what made it a little grounded, because you also have the Impmon arc and their character development. And I feel like that ending is the ending where, it it hits harder, because, like, the first one, it hit harder because we didn't even know, well, at least in other countries, right? Because there were always breaks between one season and the other. We never even knew if they were going to return, and then, oh, hey, they return. Here, they undigivolve into babies, and they fly to the sky. And until this day, it was just basically it, because, Tamers was never re-explored, and I don't think it will, sadly.
For me at
I've,
least, real quick.
hmm,
Uh, First off, the ending to Tamers is definitely my favorite ending to any Digimon series. Because my big issues with 1 and 2, especially 2. With 1, real quick, it was emotional, but we knew they were coming back because of the next season. So
yeah,
the emotional attachment was like very brief. In season 2, they didn't even say goodbye. They just decided to say, "Hey, everyone in the world now has a Digimon," and yeah, I'm like,
I
that's dumb.
yeah, like, it's like that, man. If anything, they were foreshadowing the nowadays mentality of, everyone is special, and I'm like,
I hate that whole like, oh, everyone's special. It's like, no, no, like, yeah, I get we don't want to like leave single people out, but in some occasions, people are just better at other skills than other people are. Like, for example, um, I am not a freaking athlete by any words of the means, but that doesn't mean I want a blue ribbon that says I am. Like, I want a ribbon that like
participation trophies just feel condescending.
they're condescending because at that point, like, it's like anyone gets them. What's the big deal? Like, I get we don't want to hurt people, but at the same time, though, it's like just make them feel good about something else that makes them special. Like for example, I'm a decent artist and I'm a good storyteller. Just give me a Blu-ray about my storytelling skills, or freaking or art or something like that. Just
I think it's because when it comes to sports, like art is always subjective, and literature people are lazy to read. Sadly, sports is more objective in terms of having a measurement of success, because it's always about points and numbers, right? Whoever swims faster, whoever swims longer, runs faster, scores more. Like sports, like the whole logic behind sports is something to be studied, because it doesn't really reward talent. It rewards mathematic, which is kind of weird in retrospective, because math and sports were always common enemies. Like
and
the jocks and the nerds.
and real quick, this is one reason real quick why Last Evolution Keystone is my favorite movie. Cause have you seen that movie by the way?
I cried.
That ending fixed what O2 messed up on.
Mm-hmm.
Cause now O2's ending, I think even the writers realize, yeah, the ending is kind of like weird. So they're low key trying to retcon it, which I don't mind. I don't freaking mind. Retcon that
Yeah.
shit. I don't care.
Because even in the Kizuna ending, and even upon like even upon watching the new one that released like last year, I'm not spoilers free. I'm not gonna say spoilers, but it's basically that movie happened in 2010 in the timeline of Digimon, right? It happens in 2010, and then the other one happens in 2012. Um, and the O2 kids, they still have their Digimon, besides all being adults, with Cody being the youngest at the age of 19. Um, and I always find it very interesting. Okay, so the Digimons, they don't go away once you are an adult, but it's not really about you having your inner child with you. It's about having your sense of wonder still around. And since the O2 kids met each other because of Digimon, they they are a closer clique, you know. They are more in touch together than the original ones, because the original ones, they knew each other before Digimon went into their lives, and when it came into their lives, it was like a one or two time occasion, and then everyone went their own way. And you see how, depending on their line of work, where their interests lie, if their sense of wonder was lost or not. Like, for example, um, Mimi still has Palmon as an adult, but it's very much implied that Sora lost Biomon way before than Tai and Matt,
Oh no,
correct?
definitely, it's heavy implied. Cause like if you
Yeah,
notice during the final fight, she's alone and she's holding her Digivice, and the Digivice is rusted now. Which when we
yeah.
saw with Ty and Max, when they are rusted, Agumon and Gabumon are gone. So it shows Sora was the first one in this generation of Digidestined to say fully goodbye to Biomon, because she was growing
But
up by that point.
I do like that message, because it shows that not everyone grows at the same rate. It shows that life is not a race, and it shows that not everyone grows at the same rate. It shows that life is not a race, and it shows that even if life is a race, the first one to reach the finish line, it's not always the winner, right? Because if the finish line is adulthood, what did Sora gain from that?
Eventually,
She
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 lost. She lost her
Yeah,
like
exactly. You see,
she lost
like it,
something.
and this is something, going back to Pokemon, because it's difficult to separate them. This is something where I really appreciate Sun and Moon for trying to do, because given how Sun and Moon had an ensemble cast, much like a Digimon series, I personally never saw Sun and Moon as a Pokemon series, but yes, as a Digimon series with Pokemon in them, because for a long time, and this because I already had knowledge of the video games where kids could tame three Digimon, but one was partner, the other two were support. I always saw the kids more as Digimon tamers than Pokemon trainers because they always had the one with them. Like Kiawe was Stortunator, Marowak was more of a support unit, and Charizard was not even his. It was with him, but it was not even his. Um, the same with Sophocles um, um, until he evolved Charger Bug into Vikavolt and trained with Z move. He always had Togedemaru. Jesse and James only had Mimikyu and Marini. Malo only had Serena. Lana only had Primarina. Lily only had Snowy. You can see that the bond that they had with their only Pokemon at the time until Nagisa shows up, Shaman shows up, and Magirna and everyone else starts to show up at their second, third partners. You can see early Alola feeling like a Digimon series, and even Horizons, like it kind of
What's up,
feels
Scoop?
like it
Luke
because
Skyrunner, by the way. Sorry about that.
yeah, no worry, no worry. But it kind of feels like it, right? At least
Yeah,
in instance.
the only issue is that I didn't really care about the first year, to be honest.
But like if like at the very end, like for example, let's say Lana and Malo, right? The bond that Lana and Malo have with Primarina and Serena, it feels more like a Digimon partner than a Pokemon in their party. At least to me,
No, that's fair.
that's how I
Now
like.
that's fair.
Yeah, Lily with Vulpix, it depends.
I'm say this right now, real quick, before we go back to Digimon. Lily's better than Liko. Just throwing it out there. Lily's better than Liko. I don't care.
That's fair, buddy.
Liko would give up on Lily after one hit. Moving on, Digimon. Anyways, I'm not getting into that shit again. Long story short, though, Tamers, like all these Digimon series as a whole, have a special place in my heart. Whether it's like the original like classic style, cause like you can't get mad at the first one. It's the first one. It's what many people consider the best. Do I think it's the best?
It's the one that it's always being revisited,
It's
and
the one that being revisited.
I'm kind of afraid that there were like when because we got it was in 2014 when it was 15 years, so it was like a decade ago. It was a decade ago where they announced Try, and then they made Try, and let's not talk about Try because fuck Try. But years after, when XYZ ended and Sun and Moon began, they announced the 20th movie of I Choose You with the original Ash. And I was afraid that Pokemon, given the different direction they were going for with Alola, they were going to start to do with Pokemon what they did with Digimon, which was regurgitating the Indigo League over and over and over again. Or even the original series with Orange Islands and Johto. And now that Ash is gone, I'm kind of afraid that after Horizons it might try to reboot the series. Like, here is Ash, but it's not Ash but he's still doing the same shit. And I'm very afraid for the idea that Ash is going to be used and abused as a marketing tool more than he already was, but always trying to pander on, the Indigo League days. Like, even when Misty and Brock went to Alola, you kind of can see that.
I mean, hell, Sun and Moon generally just felt like OG Pokemon, to be honest, because thinking about how Communico was doing them, and so with that is like Pokemon's original series comedy was focused on like more slapstick and like
Slapstick.
slapstick and humor. That was their gimmick.
But
Like,
but but just like the original series, Sun and Moon could hit a hard emotion anytime they wanted.
yeah, I'm sorry, I still can't.
Anytime they wanted, Sun and Moon could just play with your emotional strengths.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't care about Malo's mom. I didn't
Don't you
care.
care about? Don't you care about Litton's dad,
No, no, I care. No,
aka
I love the animals. I love dogs. The animals will make me cry, damn it. But I'm just saying, people keep saying, "Oh, look at that the Mallow
you
episode."
want
Like,
you want to know what it is? You want to know what it is? I think it's because um, when there was that school play, and we see school play, work presentation, whatever it was, we see Lana's mom, and Lana's mom is playing with Lana's sisters, and Malo is looking at her very admirably. Retroactively, you could say, oh, she's looking at that retroactively because she also misses her mom, but it's very clear that her mom not being around was written after the fact, because if her mom was really away when she was conceptualized as a character, she would have not let Lily say the things she did to Lusamine, like at all.
yeah, yeah. I'm
She
sorry.
wouldn't,
Y'all do
and
realize that.
it's and it's because her mom is just like, her mom shows up just to be revealed she's dead, and it's at the same episode where Torracat meets Stoutland. So I feel like that Pony Island arc should have been longer and not have episodes that tackle two different things or three different things all at once. Because with Lana's mom, we cannot really feel much because she just shows up to reveal that she died, right? Everything that we know about her is in flashback. With Stoutland, we were with that dog for a while, not always, but we saw them at least five to
Yeah, I
seven
felt
times.
more for Stanley because we saw him more often. I can't get upset.
Exactly.
I get it. The idea is like you gotta feel you feel bad because it's someone's mother, but at the same time, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know the woman. Like I feel bad for her, but I didn't know her.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
But
is he?
I feel like I feel like it's a cool segue topic when it comes to talk about Digimon.
Yeah, I was gonna
It's
say. By the way,
like
Izzy's parents are dead.
oh no, it's not that I wanted to say. I wanted to say I feel like Digimon gave us the the avenue to explore not really mature topics. I don't really like to use mature as a word in these conversations, but more real topics that not even just Pokemon, but other anime never really tackled. Like, I feel like the closest that other anime tackled stuff that Digimon tackled was, Kaiba being adopted, if anything,
Yeah, that's the
right?
closest. That's the closest. And even then, that relationship is like toxic. Like that whole thing with Gozaboru
Yeah,
is toxic.
exactly. But like Digimon was, it was not the forefront of the series, but you knew that these kids, like, they felt more real than the other kids of other shows
Yeah, like
because they are from our world.
yeah,
Like
they're not from like some like now. Granted, OG Yu-Gi-Oh was kind of like that too in a sense. Was like
yes.
they are like few animes like actually like took real locations. Like it wasn't like oh
Mm-hmm.
Kanto or like Duo Academy or like freaking I don't know what animes that they're.
Yeah. Like it's in Japan loosely and sometimes in
It's loosely
America.
based on Japan. It's
Like
not like exactly, but like there's some areas you
yeah.
can definitely tell are in Japan. But like going back real
Yeah.
quick, going back to the whole adopted
Like
thing real quick.
mm,
The difference with Izzy and Kaiba is the fact that like Izzy didn't even knew his parents were dead.
yeah.
He overheard it one time when he was like he got up in bed in the middle of the night, and his parents were talking about we gotta tell Izzy that he's not really our son, and that traumatized him. That's why he became more focused on his like computers because he didn't want to think
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. He hyper focused a lot. Um like I think I will say this. I don't like saying this, but I kind of have to say this. I'm kind of glad that Digimon was written in the time where it was, because if it was written nowadays, I feel like a lot of people would just claim the kids as hyperactive or in the spectrum, like trying to do their little projection
Trying to like
headbands.
justify their actions. I'm like,
Exactly, like, um, and I never liked how like people always gave Max in Pokemon a lot of crap when TK was the same age and TK did the same things that Max did. and I'm like, why are you criticizing
Oh, I'm
Max
sorry. I
for
didn't
being
know
a cinema?
TK knew about the Digimon, the freaking.
Y- yeah, why were people criticizing Max at the age of 7 when they too were also 7 years old?
I
You
think
know?
the issue with Max though is like he just came off as a know-it-all and like always like put Ash down, despite the fact that Ash is more experienced in this.
Okay, that's a fair assessment. Now, when it comes to Digimon, like the topics that they explored and they tackled, but they never really went full throttle because it was not part of the series. Like one point, it's depression, right? Depression. They tackled that with Ken very evidently, and even Kari, when that whole Sea of Darkness plot was meant to happen because her name means light and then she was going to be consumed by darkness.
That went nowhere.
I'm like that went nowhere with that Cthulhu looking Digimon, and that Cthulhu looking Digimon shows up years later in Ghost
Ghost
Story. No,
games, I
not Ghost
think. I
Story.
think it's called Ghost games.
Ghost games. Yeah, it shows that Digimon shows up in Ghost games, and it feels very lackluster at the end. It just feels like, hey, remember this? That we never really explored, and we are not again. Um, I feel like after Ken, the most likely idea was to try to use Kari as the next Digimon Empress, because the Seeds of Darkness, they were basically feeding on the depression of kids, and given how Kari was part of the original 8 but not the original 7, it's basically we're going to pull the emotional strings for those times that you were not with the others, like we're going to give you feeling of missing out and weaponize it. Um, and even other stuff like Kari and Tai's mom is a single mom. That's not something new, but for Japan it was, well, not really, because we have Ash, right? But like it's not really something tackled in Japanese media, like having a single mother. Like when Bulma was it, like it was like in 91, 92. That was like when it kickstarted it all. Like Bulma being a single mother in the 90s, like that would have not happened a decade prior. Um, what was it? TK and Matt. Yeah, TK and Matt's parents, they were divorced. That's also something that's not tackled in Japanese or even like in any sort of
Yeah,
media
like I
for
was gonna say,
kids.
like man, like you said, no, like Digimon tackle topics that most shows on animes don't really want to talk about, and divorce is
Yeah,
one of them because we see the effects between Matt and TK of the fact that their parents are split up now, because TK lives with his mom and Matt lives with his aunt, and you can tell by the how they're being raised. Now, I'm not saying both parents are bad by means of the sense. I'm just saying like you can tell each of them are picking up traits from like their the primary parent they're being raised by. Like for example, I say like TK is getting more of his nurtured side, like his more caring side from his mother. Well, Matt is getting his more like masculine side from his father. If that makes any sense.
yeah. And then years later, when they start to see each other more, you know TK never really becomes the group leader, but I don't think he was even, like, I feel like people wanting TK to have been the group leader is like people wanting for Gohan to have been the protagonist. Like, just because it's the sequel character, that doesn't mean it would work. Besides, I like TK more when he's a wild card. Like that one time when he punched Ken after being whipped, fucking hilarious. Like the guy just threw hands at Ken.
Now,
The damn 11-year-old.
I've always said it before, and I'll say this again. I felt like what should have happened was when Davis was acting out in one episode, like one of the episodes where like people were getting tired of him. I felt like that could have been the moment where like Ty took the goggles away and appointed TK as like the leader for like temporary purposes, but Davis redeems himself and then he becomes the official leader permanently again.
Yeah.
Because on sense of the words, I've always believed it as well. TK should have been the leader. Like, dude's more experienced. Davis just tackled
Yeah,
a
like
dinosaur. Davis just tackled
yeah,
a dinosaur.
Yeah, like, because even in the first episode of O2, Ty gets uh no, Davis gets Ty's goggles. And I'm like, Ty, TK is right there.
Like, y'all gotta realize something this too. TK has put more work than anyone else in the entire series. Let that sink in.
But yeah, like
Angemon,
Digimon.
Angemon beat Devamon. It held its own against Myotismon as a champion, and it beat Piedmon and helped out against Apocalypmon. So Angemon's. I always like to tell myself this was always my headcanon that like Angemon is like he's a champion level, but he has a strength of an ultimate, and Magna Angemon
Mm,
has the strength of a Mega, despite being an ultimate.
that's fair. So I have another question for you. Like, because Digimon, when it comes to storytelling, it did this, but it did other things that other series were not tackling. Like, for example, the creatures have like Pokemon also have emotions, right? But like Digimon, we see them cry. We see them, showing a lot of more emotion, right?
Yeah.
And I think this is because they are allowed to speak. How it was for you, knowing that Pokemon could not speak, but Digimon could.
To me, I didn't mind it because with Digimon is like when I hear Digimon or like Digi in a sense, it's all short for digital, which means computers. So that means the technology is advanced for them to be able to speak. Some of them obviously can't because obviously it wouldn't make no sense, but others can. So like I didn't mind it. It was definitely like a nice like difference between both Pokemon and Digimon. Was like almost
Yeah,
all Digimons can talk, whereas like there's only a few Pokemon that can talk. And
yeah, but like
plus,
even Digimon, they did two things that like not even other anime for kids, at least back then, because every time they resolve a conflict, it's always magic beam go and the evil goes away. Digimon had weapons and it had death, and it's not the Dragon Ball kind of irreversible death. Like, no, like people die in this show.
they died, they stay dead.
Yeah,
Or at least until the end
but
of
like,
season one.
how do you felt about Digimon having weapons, like guns and shit?
That shit was censored in America.
Mm, okay, that makes sense.
Like, no, we're gonna talk about censor. I mean, Puppetmon had a gun during that
Yeah,
episode, but in here in America, they just changed it to a slingshot. Yeah, that's intimidating. A slingshot. Whereas, like, I mean, speaking like censoring. You remember the episode where like they go back to the human world, right? After the whole escape the digital world to go fight Myonismon, where like they're just walking around the city.
yes.
And you remember the scene where they're trying to hitchhike, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's like two scenes that are completely different. Where when Matt in the American version, Matt is too shy to like hold up his hand to do the hitchhike symbol, the sign, like the thumbs up. In the American version, the minute he did that shit, some freaking cougar dries up and tries to lure him in the car.
What?
Yeah, like freaking this like
Oh
really
my
this
god.
like beautiful girl woman with like a two-seated sports car drives up towards him and is like trying to like get him in, and he's like too shy to get in. And like and Ty was like, "Why didn't you accept the offer?" And he was like, "Cause you all will not fit in that car, you idiot. Cause it's a two-seated car. Like, how you gonna
Yeah.
fit two?
Okay.
How you gonna fit freaking seven kids into a car that small?" And
And
the
then they go to the train. Yeah.
and none. This happens after the train. And then
Okay.
that same scene. So you remember the scene where like the guy picks up the kids and it's Sora's cousin, right?
Yeah.
That's not her cousin.
Yeah, that's like a dub. That's a dub thing.
That's a dub thing. It was just some random guy who thought they were cute, who thought Mimi and Sora were cute. They also had to do that because
wait. A guy who's driving fought Mimi. Oh. Oh, Digimon, you could not air nowadays.
Cause like I think it was like they hold up signs and everything like that, and like I think the guy just thought they were cute, so they were like,
isn't isn't the guy American? Like that's why he
he looks
like
American.
maybe like
He looks American.
well at least the Japanese version of what they thought Americans were back then. Yeah.
Trey, shut up. He said this is DG Chat, which kind of true, but come on now. This is for the anniversary. But no, like that was just insane to me when I found out, cause like obviously,
Also hey Trey.
what's up, Trey? Also, cause like realistically, you don't want kids to go into cars with strangers. We've learned about stranger danger for so many years now. It's just
Yeah.
hilarious to me that like the two scenes that were edited, Matt almost got picked up by a cougar, and Sora and Mimi will basically like,
I I just want to tackle this. I think it's important to at least address it. I watched Data Squad and Fusion. I think the shows are all right, but it's very clear that having that 4 year gap between the first original four series and between each other, it really goes to show that hey, this is Digimon in name, but you are not obligated to watch these if you don't really want to. Like it's really clear that it's for a new generation of kids,
yeah, I never.
which works. Like both shows have their strengths and they have their charm. I didn't watch them fully. I know that Fusion has like that Avengers Assemble kind of ending, but that's because it was in 2012 where Avengers Assemble was a thing, and like I think it's because once we get older, we start to realize that all of this epilogue where everyone grows up and all of this let's make everyone return at the same time. Um, it not only does it not always work, but sometimes it's not really necessary. Like I like when I was watching Fusion or Cross Wars in Japanese, I didn't have the need for Dai Davis, Takato, Takuya, and everyone else to show up because it wasn't their show. Like if anything, it just felt weird when they were there.
It did. Wait, not gonna. I'm mixed on that because on one hand I like seeing them, at the same time I was like I was just so confused when I saw a clip of that. I'm like, so wait, is this gonna get dubbed or what? Because I'm like I was so confused when I saw that shit.
Also, and when it comes to Digimon 02, like that weird ending, I feel like they only did it because they knew that Tamers was not going to be connected, and give if you look at this from a Japanese point of view, let's make a series. Okay, the series was successful. Let's make a sequel. Okay, the sequel was not as successful, but it did numbers. Before this snowballs out of control, let's cut ties. Let's make a quote unquote ending so that we don't have to readdress this, and let's make separate individual series afterwards. But they never realized when they wrote the finale of O2, it was when Digimon went to the West, and they never realized how much successful it was going to be. Like I don't think like the Jap even with their Tamagotchi toys and even their video games and their novels and the trading cards. When the Japanese are making media, they are making media for them, not for the world. When media goes to the outside borders, like over shores, it booms. And I feel like a lot of Japanese content, it continues not because they really want, but because of market demand. Like if Pokemon ever went outside of Japan, it would have not been as big as it is today. It would have, I don't even know if it would have been continued after Generation Two. Because when they are making stuff in terms of capsule monsters or manga or other stories, they are never writing these stories with the mindset that this shit will go to the US of A and it's going to boom and that's when it's going to become successful. No, they write the stories with the success of their people in mind only. That's how their mindset works. Like even for example, My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia, when it started, it was more slice of life than actual superhero danger. When it was superhero danger, that's the parts that the American people like the most. They don't like the slice of life stuff. So that's why the show during this decade it had that big discrepancy of the Japanese like one part of My Hero, the Americans and the Europeans they like the other part of My Hero, and it creates this dissonance to the point where the show gets muddy because it wants to appeal to two types of audiences. When in reality, the mangaka of My Hero just wanted to make a superhero manga because hey, I want to capitalize on the Avengers. Um, I want to capitalize on the Avengers success. It was not this big maniacal plan. Like the guy just wanted to write a story to have fun and give their own twist on it. And I think that with Digimon is the same. Like because like Digimon tackles some shit that the West would not understand, and it's very clear by the dub.
Definitely. Like for me at least, obviously Japan doesn't know how successful a show's gonna be here in the West, obviously enough, and vice versa, I guess. Because like I don't know, to me it's like at least like since Digimon, we all grew up with Digimon, like many of us at least. I know like Digimon, I think for me at least, from my point of view at least, it still has an audience. Like it very much still has a big audience, despite the backlash it gets sometimes when like people keep saying it's still a Pokemon ripoff.
Yeah, that needs to be decentralized. They started at the same time. Digimon was just the turtle in the race. It started at the same time, but Pokemon was the rabbit.
Cause
And
like
how do you like? I don't think this is something that we realized back then, but the characters do age or they are older than other at least the Pokemon anime protagonists. And that's one thing. Like for example, in the dub, they age them up more because it's like um Tai in O2, he's 14, right?
yeah,
In O2, Tai is 14. He's an 8th grader. He has a school uniform because you start having school uniforms since middle school. But in the dub, they made Tai be 17 and they made him a high schooler. And I think that was also done in O1 because in O1 Tai is 11, but they made them be 14, and I think it's because they couldn't see the kids being the age that the Japanese told them that they were. And you can see this with his sister later on, like Kari. Kari was 11 in O2, but they say she's 14. And that's where things get weird because she's like, I'm on, she says, I'm on 8th grade. But then they go to a school and there's like the number 5 on their classroom.
I just chopped that up. That's just classroom 5.
Yeah.
Because like every class,
no, 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 but
every school has numbers.
it is something to be tackled because it's very clear that the Americans they had the need to age up the characters because the characters didn't look the age that they were like supposed to be. Because it's like what 11-year-old dresses the way Kari dresses. Even a 14-year-old dress like if you if we saw a 14-year-old in the streets dressing the way that Kari dresses, we're like, what's wrong with kids these days with this exposed skin? Like, what the fuck?
I have no idea. All I know is as in middle school, I did thought she was cute in that outfit.
Oh yeah, like I feel like everyone had a crush on Kari in during the O2 era. I think it's because she was a tomboy, but we never really realized it.
No, it was the outfit she wore.
Oh, by the way, since we're talking about Digimon, fun fact: Cody, Cody in the Portuguese and Spanish dubs, it's a girl.
What the frick?
Yeah, for 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 no for no real reason. Like for no real reason, Cody is a girl in the Portuguese and the Spanish dubs.
This is my
So,
theory. This is my little theory why they did
hmm,
that.
hmm.
They knew later on Ken would join them, so they wanted to have like an equal, like an even amount of boys and girls, I guess,
For at least the O2
for the
squad.
Total 2 squad this time around.
Yeah,
But at the same time, it was still
that's
weird
fair.
because in all the bios outside from that, he's a boy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
like
but they always like. I think it's because they never go to a beach episode.
we
So
do. Wait, they do go to the beach in the movie.
in the movie, but I like in a real. I feel like the movie does address him as a male, but like everything else, it just address him as a girl. And then it's weird when you see the epilogue, and he's in a suit. Well, granted, girls can wear
Girls can wear
business
suits too.
suits.
Like they could wear.
Yeah, but like back then it was not a thing, right? Um, I know this because when I was watching the new movie, like Cody is there, right, and he's in an office as a 19-year-old. I don't know if he went to that office after finishing high school. Maybe he never went to college, or he's doing that as part time. The movie doesn't explain because it's not a part of the plot. And I remember a lot of people here saying like, "Wait, he's a guy? Did Digimon made them transition?" And then I had this whiplash in the middle of the movie. Oh my god, I forgot that our dub made this guy a girl. I think it's because Cody, it like Cody's not a name in my language, and I feel like a lot of people just thought it was like a shorting for something else, and I'm like, yeah, it's a guy.
I would never understand why most countries decide to change genders like that. Especially like there'll be episodes where like the little you can tell who's who. Like for example, in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, there's this character named Rally, and like he's friends with Yusei. Like in the first season, and in the in the dub, they call him a girl. They call him a girl, and I can see why. He does dress up like a girl, but he's a boy. Doesn't because there was an episode where like after Yusei's duel against what's his name? Freaking
I think it's because Cody was 8, so okay. This I know what had happened. Cody had the same voice because Cody in Japanese he has the same voice actress as Mimi, because Mimi shows up later. So they didn't have plans for Mimi initially because she was in America. So with the information that Mimi's actress was voicing Cody, the Portuguese and the Spanish in 2004, they made Cody a girl because of that, and because Cody is an 8-year-old kid. So if and we don't see Cody dressing up anything too girly or too manly as an 8-year-old can
I
be.
was gonna say
So
like he
he
dresses
felt
like
androgynous enough to.
he he looks like a boy. Like that's the type of stuff a boy would wear who doesn't care about like fashion like that. Because boys don't. Let's be honest. We didn't care about fashion when we were kids. Let's be honest.
Yeah. No, our fashion sense was horrendous. Like compared to these kids
My only
who dressed gadget punk shit. Like, man,
the only thing I liked wearing as a kid and still to say was jackets. That's just because I thought they were cool. I didn't start wearing goggles until high school.
I liked wearing jackets because I could put my Beyblades in multiple pockets.
I felt like I when I wore my jacket as a kid.
Yeah,
But
I
going
like
back,
scarves. Scarves are cool.
real
Like
quick.
when they're blowing in the wind.
Freaking. I want to talk real quick because I remember, just like whenever an anime gets sent to the West, like we talked about this a little bit ago, but I want to like fully address it. The censorship, the censors when it comes like these series, because
Hmm.
O1 is not the only one to get censored, and that wasn't like the only time they had to censor a few fights, like a few things. Like I remember in Frontiers, you remember that beach episode, right? Where they're like with the whole
Yes.
Rainamon or
It's the Izumi scene, isn't it?
the Zoomy scene where like she's in like the two piece.
Yeah. Granted, that's their fault for making a group of kids with only one girl.
Yeah, yeah. It also,
I feel like that's I feel like the honestly I think that's why Digimon, in terms of viewership, it was going down the rails, because it's like you have three girls, right, and then you have two more, so you have 5 out of 15, no, 5 out of 12. It's not half, but it's close to it. And then you have, five people and only one girl is there, and you're like, huh? At least with Pokemon, May worked because May was, a more, she was a tomboy, not to the same range as Misty, but she was as feminine as Zoe, right? As Izumi, and it's I feel like, sadly, Frontiers only having one girl in a group of six was probably the reason why it was starting to. The world building was amazing, but the story and the merchandise started to fail because it was Digimon was probably, the Pokemon version of where girls could watch because they felt more represented because the girls were allowed to do shit. Especially because Frontier starts in April of 2002 and then AG is in November 2002. So, if anything, maybe AG learned from what not to do from Frontiers.
yeah. I do remember that episode where like they get to Doofer Town and Missy's literally like taking off her clothing, but in reality she has like a swimsuit behind inside.
Yeah.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do now, Tokoro, because there's something I wanted to do to honor it. Let's let's do a tier list of the OG Digimon series in terms of like the
Okay.
Digimons. And the way we're gonna do this is we're more or less gonna rank them both on like the design and their characters in the anime.
Okay.
We already know how it works. S tier is the best, D tier is the worst. So we're gonna see how far we can get through this. All right. And people in the chat, you
Sure,
guys
sure,
are
sure.
more than welcome to like tag along and ask us. Even if you guys weren't Digimon fans, y'all can still like just tell us like how the designs are. So with that said, we're gonna start the tier list right now, and starting things out with the one who started it all, Agumon.
Hmm. Agumon. Uh. Okay. So this is my hot take. I I feel like Agumon is very safe because it's the icon and the mascot. I feel like I feel like Agumon as a whole would be high B, but I can consider it low A. A for Agumon. I don't think that Agumon is an S tier character.
For me,
I would say high B, low A.
Agumon is definitely iconic. He's the first Digimon we see technically. He is the first Digimon to Digivolve into his champion
Mm-hmm.
level. And I don't know, I just love the guy's person. The dude has like the most charming personality out there. Like,
I think my charm for it is from the OVA when he's fighting the parrot Digimon, and it's because it's giant. It's because it's a big version of it.
yeah, definitely. I remember even too, like they even said in the anime was like it was a different one, but you can theorize that could have been like the reincarnation of that Agumon.
Yeah, because we know that Digimon, they get reborn. I mean, we saw it with Patamon.
So I was like telling myself that Agumon is the reincarnation of the Agumon we get later on, because he even
Yeah,
says like
because
I have an odd feeling when I met Tai that I met him somewhere.
yeah, even because of the whistle.
So I'll put it on A, but he's gonna be like in a good A.
Okay.
Speaking of A, we got Airdramon, which do you
Mm,
remember this guy at all?
not much. I like the design, but it just gets more exaggerated the more I look at it.
It's a cool design, but like I'm trying to think, I don't even remember that. I think there was only
I feel
one.
like I feel like it's just one of those Digimon that's like, hey, this is our air scout, you know.
Yeah, he's definitely like more or less like the
It's the
typical.
it's the Pidgeotto of Digimon. Like it's just there. It's just in the sky to see shit.
It's just there to be like in the habitat, I guess. So
Yeah,
I'll give it a C. It's a
yeah,
C
yeah. A C is fair.
because like
Like I don't think it did anything wrong to be in D, but it didn't really do anything memorable to even be in B or A. Like
no,
put it in C.
definitely. Next up, we got Andromon. I think that's his name, right?
Yeah,
Andromon.
Andromon from Android. Yeah. Hmm. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about Andromon?
I like him. Like he definitely he first off he's like one of the first few Digimon that becomes like a support, who comes to help them out later on within like later
Hmm.
fights. Because he
I
fought Machine Dramon, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's because it's one of the first Digimon that we see that we realize it's really more human than monstrous. So it starts to tread that line of what a Digimon was really is, you know. But I do enjoy it, and
Yeah, like
it has that Terminator looking on him.
he definitely gave Terminator vibes on his debut.
Yeah,
And I'm trying to think like
I I would give it an A. I don't know if I would put it above. Would you put it above Agumon though?
nah, I put him below. Like I'm sorry, Andromon's cool, but like I just don't remember too much of what he did in the anime. Like aside from like his
Isn't
debut.
isn't he a partner to one of the Tamer's kids? Or or did
Yes,
was it?
technically, but his like pre-evolve is his pre-digivolution
It's
is.
it's the tank one, isn't it?
Yeah, well, no, not tank one. It's like not the tank, but like it's another one. I think I could probably pull it up. So let me see real quick. Let me see if I could.
It's not a tank, but it's like that war machine thing, like the brown
Yeah,
machine.
it's a mechanical brown machine.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's why because they meet Android
Oh, here
Mon.
he is. Here he is. I
That,
think it's. I
that
think it was Geardramon. I think this one.
gear drum like because they meet Android, and then but when they join they undigivolve. I think that's it. Okay, the next one. Angemon.
S S.
S.
Putting in an S. The dude, and we said this in the discussion, but the dude literally one-shotted Devimon when he was wrecking everybody, and was
I think it's because like all of the Digivolutions they feel like oh Agumon to Greymon becomes bigger. Biomon to Flamedramon becomes bigger, more majestic, colorful. Gabumon to Garurumon, like all of the other Digimons, they feel like they are just growing naturally with their element. Patamon from this guy, it's just a complete 180. It's like the Remoraid to Octillery situation.
a hamster turning into an angel.
I, honestly, now that you said the word hamster, you know what it is? I feel like Patamon is more meant to be like a cherubim, like those little angels, like because when we think of an angel, we think of the depiction that Angemon is. But if you read biblical translations, like the biblical accurate angels, they would be more like what Patamon is, like those little Cupid-looking things that are not really human, but are able to have human speech and understanding. But the Digivolutions, like we were not expecting for Patamon to become this. Like it's man. It's a full on grass man.
Plus, I also just love the way it digivolved because like it. I remember the episode prior they were like strong to like get to digivolve, and then like the
Yeah.
moment like when you think about it, they all digivolve in like their ways without the crest before the crest were a thing,
Mm-hmm.
or before they were introduced. So yeah, I'm okay putting it in S. I'm also okay putting the waifu of the series in S tier too, just for reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, because like yeah, put Entromon in S. Like if Entromon is in S, Entromon is in S too.
Okay, real
Like
talk though. That's aside from looking hot, Because let's be honest,
It
Angewomon's
is.
fine looking.
You know what is weird? Like in retrospect, it's the fact that they are not in the same stage, realistically.
They're not, but I said it before. Like I always felt like Angemon was like champion strength, or
Yeah,
ultimate strength, despite being a champion level.
yeah. Because when it's always weird when the kids like they have the baby versions of Digimon and then Kari always had Tail Gatomon at the same. It's kind of wild. Um, but yeah, both are deserving of the S tier.
And all jokes aside, though, I do like Angelwomon in terms of like her premise whenever she shows up, because she's always supposed to be the embodiment of light, whereas like TK is
Yeah,
like the embodiment of hope.
it's hope. Yeah, light and hope.
Plus, in theory, she is the first one to beat Myosmon, because and I feel like it was rightfully deserved,
Yeah.
because it low-key reminds me of and this is a weird one. It low-key reminds me of Terra from Teen Titans, because
Yes,
she was
I can see
under
that.
Slade's control until her
Yeah.
last episode where she revokes against him.
And you know what it is? It's that thing that I was talking about. You know, the girls in Digimon, they are more proactive because when you see girls in other cartoon media, they are always the support character or they are the healer. Here they make a healer looking character be the one that actually
A fire.
gives divine blows.
Also, that girl fight she had with Lady Derrymon was okay. Then and moving on.
That fight.
Moving on.
We are not gonna talk about that fight.
I think we are because I see her in the tier list, but she's not for a while. The next one though is the last villain of the series, Apocalypse. And
I feel like this guy is more. How do I phrase it? I feel like it works better in concept than in execution.
yeah,
Does that make sense?
like I like the idea. Isn't the idea is like he's just the form of like everything that went extinct.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's just leftovers. And I'm sorry, he tried to sound menacing in the dub. The dub have him saying some stupid ass metaphor of saying, "Why do you get the pizza while I just get the crust?" And I'm like, that what?
What?
Yeah. Whereas like in the original, he's like talking about how painful it is to be in here, and like there's even a scene where like, he's like digging his nails deep into his arms, and it's that scene where like Mimi like has to cover her eyes because she can't handle it. In the dub, he's all like, "Why do you get the pizza while I get the crust?" And she's all like, "I can't stand these metaphors."
Yeah, I feel like the metaphors are too much.
Like,
I feel like low B, high C.
I'll put him a high C because like I will give him credit. He does give a reason why everyone fights together again. But at the same time, though, it's like, oh, we beat one, and we beat all the Dark Masters. Oh no, there's one last. What?
Yeah, like it feels like that surprise villain, because it's like it's just there to be a surprise villain.
And so I'm like, fine, whatever. And it gave us one final fight though. So moving on, we got Bakuman, which
I never saw the appeal of this guy. It's just a ghost.
he's just a henchman. He's just a henchman.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Birdramon, which
I feel like Birdramon would be an A below Agumon. Maybe.
yeah, I can see that. I'll put him there because like I like Birdramon. I think he's a like Birdramon to me is always felt like the Moltres of Digimon because it's a Phoenix.
Yes.
They're both based on Phoenix, so
Yeah.
I don't mind putting there. Like Birdramon definitely had some like really good moments here and there.
Yeah.
I don't
Would it be below Androidmon or between both?
I put him between both.
Okay.
Oh shit! I didn't. Oh shit! Sorry, Caro. I didn't notice I wasn't sharing with you.
No, but I'm watching on the. No, if you share the stream, my lag, so it's
Okay.
better this way.
Okay.
It's better this way. Yeah. Okay. So who's the next one? I don't recall that one.
Who the? I don't remember this one either. D. D.
Yeah, like
I don't
doesn't
remember
really
you.
look- it does like I think that's the sad part. It doesn't even look seaworthy. Put it in D.
We got next one. We got Botamon, which okay, this one's cute. I like it. It's cute. It's adorable.
I can. So here's the thing. Is the adorableness enough to put it above Apocalypse?
Yes, yes.
Oh, is it enough to put it in B though?
Low B. I'll put it in like the lowest of B's.
Okay, that's a cool compromise. Okay, I can accept that.
Cause like it's cute, but realistically, it's just a baby form of Agumon.
Yeah. But I feel like being cute is better than, just like showing up randomly.
Like the plant thing. I don't even know what it is.
It is very inoffensive. Now the next one, oh boy.
Isn't
The next,
he? Didn't he also appear with Andromon too?
I believe so, yeah.
What was his name? Was it like Centaurmon or something?
I don't recall, it's been years. The next one is interesting. I think it's Centaurmon, yeah? Centaur, yeah, 'cause C, right? Yeah, Boto, Centaur, yeah.
Yeah,
I like them.
Centaurmon.
I like them. I think it's more of aesthetics though, not really character.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these Digimon are really henchmen, so they don't really have a character.
Well, no, I think this one was bad because of the Black Gear stuff, but then he became good because of like the Digidestined. Because
okay.
I think he does join in the final fight against the Dark Masters. So I'll just put him in like a mid B,
Okay. Yeah, put it in mid B.
Next one we got
Okay.
is Cherrymon, which dude freaking messed with Matt. Let's just say it like that. This guy, I
Well,
remember this guy. This guy, first off, was trying to manipulate Matt to thinking that Ty was a true enemy, only to get Puppetmon to kill him, or for like Puppetmon to destroy Jerrymon.
yeah. But like, at least that's more memorable than just Apocalypse show up. I feel like the guy is worthy of an A. Or
Really?
high B.
Uh, mm,
Or high B.
yeah, I'll put him in a B. I'll put him in a B. Because like realistically, I think the only thing I can remember him was that he was telling Puppetmon that like he was missing like one thing, which like made Puppetmon mad, and that thing was like friends. So like you could give credit, like he was trying to be like a mentor towards Puppetmon, I guess, in some ways. But in the end, he
Yeah.
just like got killed.
Because doesn't Cherrymon evolve into Puppetmon?
I don't.
Is it like one of the it's one like it's the pre-evolution of Puppetmon. So it's one of those evolutions where you get smaller and more compact.
Which I always prefer those over than just getting bigger, to be honest.
Yeah.
The next,
Puppetmon in Japanese, yeah, because Puppetmon is built from a body of a cursed Cherrymon. And in Japanese it's called Pinocchimon from Pinocchio.
yeah, I've read about that a while back.
Yeah.
The next
So
one,
it's not Pinocchi. Is it Pinocchi? It's Pinocchi.
Pinocchimon,
It's
Pinocchiomon.
Pinocchio. No, you say Pinocchio, but do the Japanese say Pinocchio or Pinocchio? Because the Italian is Pinocchio. It's semantics. What's that rat? I don't recall that rat.
I don't know. I just know he was with that one like turd. But I'm gonna put this guy
Oh,
in
it's
low.
the one with a third. Put it in D.
No,
D
no, no,
first.
no, no, no. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it that dirty. I'm not doing him that dirty. You wanna know why? His freaking death, man.
Oh, okay.
Because right after they came back, the dude lost his friend, and he was with the Digidens for a while now, but he gave his life to save Mimi.
Yeah, its name is Chu.
Chumon, yeah, Chumon. So I can't hate on him too badly. He gave us like one of the most emotional deaths, especially like Mimi hated this thing at first.
Yeah, as rat.
But then, like, obviously after what happened, because they were gone, the Dog Master took over. He lost his friend, but he gave his life to save the Digidens, who will eventually defeat them at the end. Because I think by that point in time, I think this was the first death they witnessed in terms of their allies. So I'll put him. I'll put him high C. High C.
Okay.
Next up, we got is this bird, which. What was his name?
I don't remember.
I just know he was on that episode with the cruise ship.
Put it in D. Like if you don't remember, like, or if it's a whatever, like put it in D.
Yeah, he was just like the henchman. He was just like that's a sample. Most of the others just henchmen to bigger Digimon, the main threats. So yeah, just like this one, Dark Tyrannomon, which D, D.
Yeah.
Okay, Datamon is interesting. Datamon is interesting because he fought with Edamon a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I remember, like I think he was the last Datamon of his species before he died. And he was about to take over Sora, so we had two villains technically. Play him C.
I was gonna say low B, but yeah, okay.
Well, I'll put him like mid, like between Apocalypse and Chumon.
Okay, that's fair.
Because he's at least rememberable. Like, I can't remember Eldramon. Apocalypse was a cool concept, but the metaphors ruined him, and Chumon's there saving him.
Okay, that's fair. How many more do we have?
A ton. A ton.
Really? Can you scroll down?
Yeah, I got it.
For me to see?
I think it's just like the first generation of Digimons that we saw back then. Because yeah, I think we only saw like 50.
Hey, Amber Ross, everything's okay?
How you doing?
Oh, it's still a whole bunch.
Yeah.
1, 2.
Did you have something?
4,
Do you have
6.
something to do like in the few?
Like, not really. It's just I wasn't expecting the tier list. I thought we were just going to discuss Digimon. I'm just seeing this now. Like
We like the first half was going to be about Digimon, and now I'm like I wanted to like spice things up and talk about because I was planning to do the tier list to begin with, to be honest.
Ah, okay. Like so, damn. We still have 90 left. I don't think I'm gonna rank them all. But okay.
We'll just probably do the ones that like we don't know or barely appeared. Just put them in like D tiers as we barely know them. Like this one, this little bastard here. I don't know him. Devimon gets a D. I hate this thing.
Who gets a D?
Devimon.
Yeah. Like it's not really. It's very whatever.
Like, dude, you wanna know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of Meowth, but just to a different level. So, yeah, dude gets a D. Just like whatever his name is, I'm gonna put him in a D too.
Yeah.
Devimon.
I think this is a solid A. It's nothing too crazy, but I don't think it thresholds into S.
So where in A do we put this guy?
Probably above Birdramon.
Fair enough. When did you start streaming in general? We started streaming like 2 hours ago.
Yeah. It was exactly 2 hours ago. Holy moly.
Next we got Digitamamon, which first off that name is stupid. Just call him Eggmon.
Yeah, like calling Digitama. No, just call it Tama from Tamago, which means egg. Like just call it Tamamon.
Which I'm putting this guy probably like in a D2 because I did not like this guy at all. I didn't because like he appeared twice in the anime, in both 1 and 2, and both times he was just like rude. Even after we got rid of the black gear or like the whatever the ring was in him, he was still acting like a jerk. So I'm like, no. Oh, and I know I'm putting this one in too. I'm putting Scubamon in here or Divermon, whatever their name are. Only because that fucking I hate the fact that they didn't win any with a Dark Ocean storyline.
Yeah, it would have been so cool if we got like Dark Empress Kari.
Okay, Carl, I think I know the real reason why they didn't do that.
Mm.
They would have given her like some design that would have been way too much for someone of her age.
Yeah, okay, this kind of it kind of makes sense.
They realized no, we can't do that because we were about to do the thing like we're gonna put her
We
in the most
we
risque
can
outfit ever.
we cannot sexualize the 11-year-old more.
She was already like peaking with that outfit. Now imagine that outfit but leather.
Yeah, that's probably it. Like with Ken, you can get away with it because you know it's a guy. He
It's a
just wears
guy.
a
Guys
black and
always
a
look
cape.
cool in like.
It's on its emo phase, like with Hikari. Yeah,
Girl would have been fucking in high heels and
like some BDSM shit.
yeah, like some
like for an
BDSM.
11-year-old, no less. Like no.
That's why. That's the real reason why they didn't tackle the Dark Ocean.
Like
It wasn't because it was
like
too scary. It would have been too sexy.
like I think it would like what's that devil Digimon, the one that battles Angelmon, like the other
Lady
devil?
Devimon.
Lady Devimon. So it would be her Lady Devimon equivalent. He would be her Lady Devimon equivalent. Uh, so I can rank at least the next three.
Real quick,
Then
Amber Ross. Amber Ross. I would appreciate if you don't like just share your media on my on like chats. On like the chat box. Nothing personal. It's just more or less like we just don't like promoting like random discords or like other socials like that. Nothing personal. Just like you're still welcome to join to like watch the stream. And let me see. He asked a question. Would you be interested in custom graphic designs for your streams? Like, oh wait. Okay, tell you what, Amber Ross. You could DM that to me on either my Discord or on my Twitter account, so that way I could check out what you have in store. Okay. But in terms of like sending links on like the main chat right now, I would appreciate if you refrain from doing that. But yeah, sorry about that, Coro.
no worries. Like you do what you have to do. You know. I can rank at least three more. Then I have to head out.
No worries.
Because I said three more because I know the one I know the final one I'm gonna rank. Okay, so continue.
Alright, the next one is Drillmon, I think, which I'm playing this guy in C. He only appeared just to be like a nuisance.
Yeah, like I would put in high C. Like I like the design.
Okay, I'll put him in high C. At least he has a cool design. I think this guy's name is Electmon. I like his concept. His concept is like he's like a caretaker for all the baby Digimons.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay, so Elecmon was the DG partner of my first OC.
oh
So
damn.
I have bias for this guy. I will personally put in high A. I like it. I like it a lot.
I'll put him between Agumon and Devimon.
Okay. I think I think it's because you know like yeah, this is the one that I could see myself with because no one really had this one and I thought it was cute, you know, and apparently it evolved into Leomon.
What?
Like, yeah, like Leomon is one of their like this is what Leomon came from. Well, maybe other stuff, right? Because you know, like Leomon also comes from Gazimon.
Damn.
Doesn't really look like they don't really look like lions at all. But like this is what Leomon, this is what becomes Leomon. Like Elecmon, it's what becomes Leomon.
And now we'll end these off right now with the best
Like
villain ever.
it's it's one it's one of Jerry's, in Tamers. Like it's one of Jerry's partners.
Their only partner, which god damn, that's
Yeah,
damn.
yeah. So maybe it's because of that. Yeah, but I like Elect more. Oh, this is why I wanted to be my last rank. Okay, Douglas, on a count of three. One,
Two,
two,
three,
three.
S,
S
S,
tier.
yes, S, dude. I love Edamon so much. And it hurts me that he only had like 10 episodes before we moved on to the other villains. Because, like, the one thing I love of Edamon so much is that he's so different from the other, like, menacing villains we got. I also love his freaking Elvis impression. Like, you could whoever voiced him here in America had fun with him.
Actually, now I'm curious to see. Now I'm curious to see because it's another puppet looking like, and it was called the King. It's called the King of the Digimon. And I'm like, oh, the King, a monkey, okay.
Like,
And it had cool moves like dark musical, and and concert crush, which in Japanese apparently concert crush is called love serenade.
oh my god. But I
Yeah,
like out of all,
actually yeah. So Edamon voice actor, because I'm curious now. In English, right?
yeah, English.
In English, it was Richard Epcar, and Richard Epcar voiced. Let me go to old stuff. Narration. This is from '83. I need to see like more recent, well, not recent stuff, but stuff from the Etamon era to basically get an idea on the character. Because he also, I don't see anything here that you would know, or even I would know.
Because yeah, that's the thing. I think Digimon voice actors are just in different tiers than like 4K's voice actors.
Yeah, I'm trying to see like a character that's like not even I would know these. Oh, he voiced Zangetsu in Bleach and Handsome in Kingdom Hearts. Okay.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I was trying to see like characters you would know, but like these are the ones. These were the first ones I knew, and I'm like, okay.
I don't watch those or play those games or the anime, but I do know how popular they are. So that's pretty cool that he's voicing characters in those. Because like,
Yeah.
what he did is like he did like the best Elvis impression ever, and just stuck with it with anime. Because like, look at him, he's just Elvis the monkey.
Yeah, yeah. He voiced 33 characters in Skyrim.
God damn. But yeah, like
Yeah.
Edamon to me is definitely my favorite villain. That's not to say all the other villains are bad. It's just like out of all of them, Edamon has the most different, unique personality of all of them. Whereas like, to me,
You're gonna you probably know, you probably at least know this one. You have to know this one. He's old Joseph in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
never seen JoJo, never will.
But you know who old Joseph is, right?
No, I only saw one episode. That one episode, I hated it.
Okay.
But like,
Okay.
I am saying though, like,
Okay.
it's cool to know like he's in different.
You know. Okay, these ones are more recent. These ones you know. He voiced Giovanni in Generations.
Oh,
So he voiced the mafia version of Giovanni, the one that's talking with Silver, and he voiced Ginyu in the Kai dub.
wait. He voiced Ginyu, Captain
In the
Ginyu.
Kai, Captain Ginyu, Toku Sentai.
Oh my god. And that's in the dub, right?
That's in the dub. Yeah.
Did he voice Ginyu in Super, or was it the original actor before he passed?
It was the original actor before he passed.
Ah, That's all. I need to go rewatch Dragon Ball Z Kai now. I need to go rewatch Dragon Ball Z Kai now because God, this dude right here, for some odd reason, whenever it comes to like a wacky comedic villain that's still a threat, dude goes all out.
Yes, so Captain Ginyu and Edamon had the same VA in English.
Which is ironic because fucking most people don't remember Adamon.
Yeah, but yeah, with this I gotta go. So you have your nugget of lore.
No worries. Like, we're about to end it anyways because like it's been 2 hours now. So you take care,
Really?
Cora, right?
Okay, take care, man. Bye, bye, everyone.
But yeah, folks. Like I just said, we are gonna go ahead and end things for the night here. It's been amazing watching Digimon as a kid, honestly enough, and like revisiting and remembering. This is why I want to get back to like reviewing the anime again, and like its perfect respective seasons. So we'll see where we go from there, everybody. So until then, you all have a good day.